What did I have for breakfast?
Some rice, chicken, early in the morning. And then later on I went to Harmony Bakery and had somewhat of a vegan tart. It's really good.
I had actually nothing yet.
I had a protein shake from Starbucks.
I had a bagel.
A Nutri-Grain bar.
I'm trying to go get a bacon, egg, and cheese right now.
Black coffee and cigarettes.
There you go.
Breakfast of champions.
My morning routine.
I like to get a kind of a hold of what I'm going to do with the day. So I have my coffee, because I do drink coffee, and get my husband ready for work. Wake him up very slowly, just gently, so his day kind of starts in a positive way.
Brushing my teeth, having a quick shower, and then just going straight to class.
Brushing my teeth, putting on my clothes, and getting in my car and driving to work.
Cup of coffee, bagel, and head to work.
Make coffee. Play with the dogs. Smoke some cigarettes. Come to work.
Have a coffee and a cigarette, and then take a shower, go to work.
If I'm not working, I'll probably just go skate.
How do I get my news?
Honestly, as far as news goes, I don't really receive a lot because I don't have any sort of social media. I also don't have a computer to really go on the internet that much. I'd say just from word of mouth or maybe the radio is probably the biggest source of news. Radio.
Just look at my phone, go straight to the New York Times app, or maybe CNN, and that's where I get my news from.
I'm online.
I probably get the most news from just social media like Facebook or Instagram and stuff like that, just on the daily.
On the weekends, I still get the Baltimore Sun, believe it or not. I don't get a lot of news from the Sun. I guess probably the main place I would get my news, just like a little dribble of it, would probably be like the Huffington Post or something like that.
Cell phone. Watch the news in the evenings if I'm home in town.
The internet most of the times. I like to go to different sources. I go to foreign sources. I do the local. My husband likes the local for obvious reasons because he goes out a lot of the time. He wants to know, what the weather's like, what's been going on in Baltimore and things like that.
The current event that most concerns me right now.
Donald Trump.
And
It's what concerns me really a lot.
There's just a terrorist attack in Pakistan. It was like 100 injured. Yeah, that was pretty bad. I read a story about that the other day. It seemed pretty jacked up.
Terror attacks are scary, but we'll see what happens.
I mean, ISIS is like a pretty big deal, but I'm gonna keep it domestic and say that it's the 2016 presidential election.
Yeah, who the next president's going to be?
Probably the mayoral race in Baltimore, and then obviously the presidential race.
I guess the election. Sure, it's probably the biggest, most talked about current event.
How do I feel about Donald Trump?
Terrible. Horrible. I feel horrible about Donald Trump.
From what I've heard and seen, what little I've heard and seen, he seems to be quite a personality.
I think he's going to win, unfortunately. I don't support him and don't think that it would be good, but it's I think, pretty much kind of inevitable is my belief.
Everyone has something to say about Donald Trump, but I just think he thinks more on an economic type of feel, but he's not really thinking about the people all the time with his statements and what he plans on trying to do, I guess.
Quite frankly, I'm a little concerned. Donald Trump is quite the candidate. I mean, I guess he speaks what's on everyone's mind, but we're all just too scared to say it. But even then, I guess it's really not meant to be said. So I don't like him too much. I'm probably not going to vote for him.
His political agenda, I'm not really sure about exactly what it is.
I like him and I hate him at the same time.
I like Donald Trump. He just don't have no experience.
I would vote for Donald Trump.
I don't have plans to as of right now.
Absolutely not. No.
I kind of agree with a lot of the stuff that he's talking about. Yeah. And we just need a change.
I would not vote for Donald Trump, no.
Yeah, I'm on the bandwagon. I'm gonna vote for Bernie probably.
Do you believe
No, but you're-
do you believe in punishment for abortion? Yes or no, as a principle?
The answer is that there has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah, there has to be some form.
Yeah, I heard about like that abortion thing yesterday, and I haven't really been informed about it. I mean, the statement alone is just a bit ludicrous. I mean, women have the right to do whatever they please. I mean, abortion is it's a personal choice. Certain circumstances like require it or like make it almost. I'm not necessary, but like it's justified. So I definitely do not agree with what Donald Trump said.
I think making a statement like that should be criminal.
Well, I actually heard that on the radio this morning, and I guess he somehow offended pro-life and pro-choice people somehow. So I just don't think that would be a very good situation to get yourself into if you're trying to run for president. But I'm for pro-choice if that matters. Anyway, so.
He really said that?
Yeah.
It's pretty intense. I mean, I don't even think he doesn't even have the say-so to say something like that. He's like a man.
For abortions, I'm not up to date on that.
I feel that Donald Trump should face criminal charges for whatever he says. It's like really, it's a joke what he says.
I think that politicians are all reality TV, actors, in a way.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a mockery as far as who we get to control our country is kind of just like a TV celebrity. So yeah, it's a little embarrassing for me at least being a citizen of the United States.
We are not paying attention, obviously, or the ones that were paying attention are just us few, and the ones that are being televised they may be few, but they make it seem like it is a lot, just because the media does that. I think he's been sensationalized. I think and he loves it, and I think that we just kind of need to steer our attention away from him, and that would probably kill him eventually, very slowly. The shame that he's just not the center of news like we're making him.
He doesn't have a lot of experience. I mean, Hillary's got the most experience out of all of them. Yep. But she's a big fibber. She likes to tell stories, so I don't really like her.
The way I see Donald Trump, I feel like he has an opportunity, so he's taking it, but I don't think he's really taking it serious. It's just more along the lines of him just being successful and having money, but I don't think he's for it.
History repeats itself. I mean, we saw this kind of propaganda and nonsense just happening in Germany in the 1930s and 1940s. So I guess we're at desperate times. Desperate times call for desperate measures, and I guess he's the measures that we've decided to choose. So we're going in not the path that I would hope we are, but we'll come to our senses eventually.
I think we get what we deserve. I think when the country has devolved as much as it has, then that's the kind of shit that floats to the top, if you will.
The richest 10% of Americans take in 50% of the country's income. When asked if the rich are more likely to be greedy, 55% of Americans said yes. And are the rich more likely to be honest? Only 12% thought so. As for the poor, 38% of Americans said a lack of work ethic was to blame for financial straits.
Part of what we are as people is that we do have some sense of social responsibility. We do reach out to those who are in need. And right now, we're at a time in this country, I got to tell you, man, there are a lot of people out there suffering, and some of them do need our help.
America just jacked up. I don't know. That says miles about how not unified we are. Probably it's just speaking as the public versus the corporate. That shouldn't even be going down. Honestly.
Poverty is a bigger issue than a lot of people think it is, and the systems that we have in place to help people out that are in poverty need maybe some work, but I don't really disagree with them as a whole. And I think we kind of need to change the way we think about our, people that are on welfare, and also people that, corporate welfare as well, and how much they make. And
the rich want to stay rich, and like this all like trickle down economics, it really isn't going to work. But we just want to keep the wealth at the top, and I guess that's where it's going to stay.
Most of us are not well informed. Most of us don't realize that those programs were made. If I am correct, was it Roosevelt that did it, that implemented those programs? And most people don't even know that. Okay, they don't even know that a president did it for the help of the people who need it. I am one of them.
I would say generally that says that people are misinformed and uneducated.
There are a lot of followers, not enough leaders.
It's not that hard to look into both of the things that you mentioned and see, follow the money, follow the sort of the divide and conquer, follow the inability of people to look at the true causes of things, even if they are in some cases 50, 60, 70, 100 years old. The ripples are still affecting us today.
I think we give too much away. I think people need to earn what they get. There's some people that need it, give it to them, but there's a lot of people that take advantage of the system and get a lot of free stuff that actually I'm paying for, that I think they should work for.
What will the state of America be in the next 4 years?
Within the next 4 years,
Quite frankly, I have no idea. With this political campaign, I really cannot tell you.
It really depends on who wins. So, I would hope, yeah, I'm on the bandwagon. I'm going to vote for Bernie probably, but, if he wins, it should be mellow, hopefully. If he doesn't, it's going to be weird.
hopefully everybody just keeps, getting jobs, getting work, and staying positive and moving forward.
I hope that the young people are going to be worried enough to do something about it. That the worry is going to really get to them, and they'll think of maybe alternative forms of government. I don't know what's going to happen, and it's a little tiny bit scary for me. However, I think we all play a part, and if we all just remain positive and try to be more leaders and less followers, it may just not get to as bad as we all think it's going to get. But it's kind of scary, of course.
I'd like to hope it's fairly the same as it is now and not any worse, but I don't foresee it getting any easier for at least people that are in poverty or people that are not and don't benefit from the corporate welfare. But I don't have any strong predictions as far as who's president and what will happen if they are president. So
I don't know. It could be, I generally believe things are going to get worse before they get better. It is within our ability to make things better, but people would have to be willing to go a little bit farther than the most obvious sort of baiting that's thrown out in front of them. If I think President Obama had said that if the 99% voted, the 1% wouldn't have any power over anything. So it's really I think people should go out and vote, whether they believe it's effective or not. That's debatable at this point. But I think people should engage, educate, and vote, and hopefully we can see some sort of return to public servants being answerable to us. They work for us. There should be some responsibility to the general public.
I don't think it'll be much different. Each time a guy takes over or a lady takes over, we've never had a lady president, but there's a good chance this time around. Nothing ever changes much, just always seems to get worse, or stay the same. And, you know, when Obama took over, they said, you know, everybody's preaching, oh, we need to change, we need to change. Well, he hasn't changed much. It's gotten worse, in my opinion.